Welcome to paradise.
Yes, thank you. I love it here.
Yeah, so have you been to Mexico before to do other conferences, or this is the first time in Mexico?
This is the first time for a conference, and this is my first time in Mexico City, but I've been to Mexico on vacation 3 times before. I really like it here.
Excellent. Yeah, I like to hear that people like Mexico, and I love that you mentioned people coming for the good food.
Yes, absolutely. The food here is amazing. Just walking to the conference here, there's little food stalls where, just people making tacos and tamales on the street. And it is just, you can smell the food for every block, and it's just amazing. I love the street food culture here in Mexico City.
Oh yeah, I find it's a good icebreaker. Like, so if you're out in the street and you're eating with the people, it's like you get to know what the people are about and how they feel. But do you feel like there's I wanted to know whether you're trying to focus on Latin America, with the huge potential that you mentioned now in these Latin American countries?
Absolutely. I mean, I think Bitcoin is much more important in Latin America and Southeast Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa than it is anywhere else in the world. And Latin America is probably the first hotspot because you have a combination of really important characteristics. You have dysfunctional banking, dysfunctional government, dysfunctional currency, but at the same time you have educated populations with cell phones and smartphones. You have a lot of economic activity, including a lot of cross-border economic activity, a lot of trade, both between countries, in Central America and Mercosur, that involve cross-border transactions, and of course you have remittances. All of these are perfect applications for Bitcoin. So I expect Bitcoin to be much more successful in places like Latin America, long before you see mainstream adoption, perhaps among consumers in the United States. And the reason is very simple. We already have banking that works, and we have credit cards that work, and our governments and our banks are only trying to steal our money sometimes, not all the time. So people in the United States are comfortable with that situation. You go to places like Argentina, they're not comfortable, and they haven't been comfortable for decades. And so they need change. They need new systems that are not the old corrupt systems. And so that's why Bitcoin can be much more successful in these kinds of environments.